Good morning, everybody. Hope your evening went well. It was kind of warm here yesterday in the 50s, low 50s. Today, the highs was in the low 40s, so the wind must be blowing from the north. There is some moisture in the forecast, especially in the northwestern part of the state. Mixed. Could be rain, could be sleet, could be snow. The wheat crop could certainly use the moisture. The news overnight, France beat its consumer spending numbers. Italy didn't. The UK business investment number was lower than forecast. Stock markets are mixed, with Japan in Europe's and the UK's up, and China and Hong Kong down. Overnight, the E-mini held its gains. You know, when I came in this morning, we had less than 40,000 contracts traded in both the E-mini and the note, so that's pretty low. That's even lower than yesterday. So my guess is that we're probably looking at the same day that we had yesterday. Tight range, low volume, very, very little in the way of volatility. Those that guess the direction right off the opening probably have the best trade during the day. Now, having said that, that's based on the news being pretty close to Prague's. And in these low volume situations, if the news is significantly different than forecast or the consensus, we can have some extra volatility. So maybe we'll get some of that to open up the trading range some and give us access to better trade location. We're going to keep pretty much the same numbers we had yesterday. Buying 13s to 17s, buy 1. Buy 2 will be 5 to 9. Well, that might be generous, Chuck, in your assessment. Ho-hum trading. 23.27, sell 1. Pretty much where we were last night at 31.03. I mean, the market is, the market's in a full holiday mode. Okay, we have a lot of news this morning. Durable orders, plus 3.1. Ex-transportation, plus 1.3. That'll be the first piece of news that the market will focus on. Personal income, plus 0.5. Personal spending, plus 0.5. Core, plus 0.1. Second focus will be personal spending. FHFA, price index, plus 0.2. Michigan sentiment, 93. That'll be the third piece of news. New home sales, 460. And Richmond Fed at 7. Okay, we also have the third revision for GDP. 4.3, it's old news. I doubt if it plays. These third revisions usually are right on the money, so I didn't even put it up there as a factor today. Plus 1.4. So, durable orders, ex-transportation, plus 1.3. Personal spending, plus 0.5%. Michigan sentiment at 93 and new home sales at 460 should be the market's focus today. Okay, the knob spread held in pretty much where it was on yesterday's close, no change. It has expanded. It's at 1728. Yesterday it came up some. So the longer-term players are still pretty bullish on interest rates. And two factors, hedge funds are heavily short, biggest short positions they've had, I think the article said, in 3 years. The other one is the world's economy is slowing down. And if you think about how important the oil sector is, the energy sector is to every country's GDP and wealth, the loss of about 40% in the price of crude oil, or 40% or more, is going to hurt. There's no way to get around that. So, and my guess is it takes the world into recession. 23 to 27, sell 1 on the bond. 31 to 03, sell 2. On the buy side, got volume down here at 8, so I think we might go a little deeper. We'll make it 5 to 9. May have to pay 13s to get in, but we'll play a little bit deeper. And then 29 to 01 for buy 2. Put a question mark by 13. Okay, gold did not break last night. Gold and crude both, and the euro, all did find sellers. The euro at our number 1 level, gold and crude at our number 2 levels. And again, these number 2 levels are significant because it allows the professional trader to get stops outside of your number 1 support and resistance levels. So we came in yesterday with a sell. Very, very aggressive sell, 75, 77. Then our next sell was 80 to 82, and you can see its rejected prices above 83. So we're going to leave 80 to 82, sell 1, 85, 87, sell 2. On the buy side, I'm going to give it a little room right here to the downside, so we'll make it 70, 72, but you may have to pay 75s to get in. Depends on how quiet we are, and you can see we're pretty quiet overnight. And our 65, 67 for buy 2. I think the market is headed lower in gold for all the reasons that we've talked about, but I mean the articles are out this morning. Gold no longer an inflation hedge. These people have to write about something, and if inflation were a concern, gold would be trading up. But deflation is the battle that all these central banks are fighting right now. And so it's printing of money. Government collapse is what's buying gold. Not and perhaps some inflation, but it's not in the 4. Printing of money. Devaluation of currency is the number 1 reason. And looking at crude, crude 2 got up to our number 2 sell zone, so we've got we had hoped to buy the 55, 55 and a quarter yesterday. We didn't quite get there. If you take this tail out, we're leaning P. If you have that tail in there, we're definitely a B. So my guess is a trading range. So we'll make 56 and a quarter, 56.50, sell 1, 75 to the buck, sell 2. I can't see any reason for people to fall over themselves to get long crude, but we're just going to play it as a trading range. Like the short side better. Buy 1, 55 and a quarter, 55.50. Buy 2, 54, 75, 55. I did put up Gary Schilling's forecast for the price of gold. Says that, crude might go to $20 a barrel. If so, this will be the fourth big bust that I've gone through in my lifetime, and they usually stay down for a couple of years after that. So anybody that doesn't have old production, anybody that's highly leveraged, their assets will swap hands. And we'll see vulture funds formed on Wall Street to go out there and take advantage of that. Funny how that works. I mean, everything is so loaded to the banks and Wall Street, and the banks can really break laws, the large traders, the people that fund the government officials' next jobs, the people that fund political campaigns, they don't go to jail, they pay fines. And if I can make $1,000 and pay you $500 in fines, and I know I'm not going to go to jail, what are you going to do? You're going to make the trade, you're going to do the action, and see what happens. Now, if you're outside of those 5 banks deemed too large to fail, those are the sacrificial lambs that the regulatory bureaucracies throw onto the fire to show that they are doing their job. So if you're a hedge fund that hasn't made the right kind of political contributions, if you're a fund manager that hasn't made the right kind of political contributions, you're the one the SEC, the CFTC will go after. Now, John Corzine, anybody else would have been thrown under jail. That guy's getting ready to make another big comeback. In fact, he'll probably get the people that sued him to pay for his legal expenses. That shows you what being connected is, especially if you're on the left side of the ticket. You can pretty well, I mean, you really have to be unlucky as hell to go to jail or serve significant time or pay significant fines. But that's where we are right now in this day and age. And from our perspective, you may not like it and it may not be right, but you know, what the hell? We can read the markets. We know exactly what they're doing. We just join them. We make money. Okay, we came in trying to sell 40s to 50s. I think that's reasonable. Then 65 to 75 for sell 2. We'll lower our number 2 sell zone a little bit. I'm going to leave our buy at 22 plus or minus 5. Just short covering when we get down there. Nothing more than 75 to 85 for buy 2. Only reason I would buy against 122 is that I would expect somebody to cover their shorts down there. The ES's volumes are really pretty low. They were 40,000 around 5 this morning. Normally you come in even on a quiet day, you'd expect to see 80 to 100,000 contracts traded, but they didn't. The market is going higher. We're going to close on new contract highs before Christmas this year. We'll probably close on new contract highs before the New Year's. It's just the way that it is, and I mean, we can make all sorts. It can't be. It's not happening. It shouldn't be, but it is. So trade what you see, not what you believe. It's the beauty of the profile. You don't have to know why or who. You can just see that they are. Okay, I started out with resistance at 75, 76. That's where we are now. So we'll make 79 to 81, sell 1, 84, 86, sell 2. This is based on the idea that we can take this high out as no longer resistance. It's now support. If that's not the case, then we're going to have to take that short at a lower level. I don't think the market's going to bust. I think the trade is to get long. Go 70 plus or minus, buy 1. Let them get stops below 70 and then 65, 67, which is where I really like it because of this number right there, buy 2. The news, once again, durable orders plus 4.3. I'm not going to put the GDP numbers up. Transportation is going to be the first number the market looks at, plus 1.3. all these numbers, if it forecasts this morning, are good for the indexes. Personal income plus 0.5. Personal spending will be the second focus of the market, plus 0.5. Core PCE, nobody will pay any attention to, because the Fed is not fighting inflation. FHFA, I don't know if anybody believes these numbers, but it would be supportive at plus 0.2%. Real estate prices, new home sales at 460. This is a very, very easy number to cook, but again, the market will react to the headlines. That would be supportive for the indexes. Richmond Fed at 7, and then Michigan sentiment at 93, which would be a good number for the stock market. So we have all these numbers, if as forecast, would be supportive for the stock market and stock market players, the fundamentalists, fund managers. The rest of it will point to these numbers as the reason why they did something. So I think we're going to get stops above the overnight session high. We'll see if that actually happens. Have a buy in the 70 area, plus or minus, or 65, 75, 67. Okay, it'll take about 20 minutes to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. See you as soon as possible.